Hello everyone, today we're confronting two critical challenges that define our era. The proliferation of fake news in the information age, now intensified by the pandemic, and the enigma of historical understanding with figures like Lapu-lapu from the Philippines as a prime example. Let's delve into the digital era first. The sheer volume of information circulating online has made it fertile ground for the spread of misinformation. The pandemic has only increased our reliance on digital sources, creating an environment where fake news can flourish. People isolated and seeking understanding may cling to false narratives that promise simple answers to complex issues. So, why do historical figures such as Lapu-lapu remain enveloped in so much ambiguity? As Jay Taruc's documentary suggests, the passage of time often entangles fact with folklore, and the absence of solid evidence gives rise to differing interpretations. In ancient times, civilizations like those before the Ice Age, including the mythical Atlantis, spark our imagination. Figures like Graham Hancock challenge mainstream archaeology, proposing advanced prehistoric technologies. While labeled a pseudoscientist on platforms like Wikipedia, he raises an important point about the rigidity of established academic views. The ease with which the label of pseudoscience can discredit unconventional ideas shows how historical distortions can arise. It warns us of the power structures behind knowledge dissemination, and it begs the question: what else don't we know because it's been dismissed or suppressed? The lesson here is about authority and bias. Recognizing our own cognitive biases is critical as they shape our search for information. Whether we're conscious of it or not, these biases impact our understanding of history and current events. Now, what can journalists, historians, and informed public do? To start, we must champion media literacy and nurture critical thinking, an antidote to the confirmation bias that steers us toward information that only affirms our preconceptions. And journalists should aspire to uphold objectivity and provide balanced reportage, consciously avoiding the narrative fallacy, which favors coherent stories over disjointed, complex truths. Historians are tasked with combating with the great man theory of history, a tendency to attribute historical events to the actions of individuals over the broader societal forces, which often leads to an oversimplification of history. And for the public, it is crucial to engage in metacognition, thinking about one's own thinking to understand personal biases and their influence on information processing. This involves challenging the anchoring effect, where individuals rely too heavily on the first piece of information they encounter, and availability heuristics, which lead people to overestimate the importance of information that is readily available. Now, something related to space exploration, astronauts experience what's known as the overview effect, a shift in perspective that highlights the triviality of context and the unity of Earth. It is a mental shift akin to what might be needed to tackle the challenges of misinformation, like the debates on psychedelics. Potential for insight, these shifts in perspectives are essential, yet often resisted or misunderstood due to societal biases and structural resistance to change. Now, in conclusion, let's revisit our hero, Lapu-lapu. Jay Taruc's documentary raises as many questions as it answers. Do our portrayals of him serve historical truth or nationalistic narratives? The lines between fact and fiction are never as clear-cut as they seem, especially in an age where information is as malleable as digital data. In this information age, compounded by a global pandemic, our task is to sift through the deluge of data to find the kernels of truth. It's a monumental task, but one we must undertake if we are to understand our past, navigate the present, and shape our future.